The video game equivalent of the Oscars Game Awards just started yesterday, and it brought us tons of great new all sorts of things, and for the first time it included a console reveal. So we decided to do an upcoming games episode on them. I'm Maxi, Enough Game Killer, and this is the top 20 upcoming games of 2020 for PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and next generation consoles. Considering hot on the heels of Capcom's remake of Resident Evil 2. An equally amazing Resident Evil 3 remake is on the way and releasing sooner than expected. Just like Resident Evil 2 remake, the Resident Evil 3 remake includes gameplay updates like proper over-the-shoulder shooting on modern controls. And if you missed it the first time around, this third entry in the series technically begins a few hours before Resident Evil 2. Where Raccoon City is crawling with the undead, everything's gonna be pear-shaped, and you're doing your best to escape without becoming zombie food. Alright, back in our real world. If you pre-order Resident Evil 3 remake, you will bag an exclusive classic custom pack consisting of Jill's original outfit and Carlos' original hairstyle, things like that. You will also get Resident Evil Resistance. Resident Evil 3 remake is coming out on April 3rd, 2020 on PlayStation 4 and PC. Check it out.
What the hell? How could this many people be infected?
This city is completely cut off, isolated.
Don't look at me like that, alright? I'm not infected.
But right now it's got a hard-on for the only 2 stars left in town.
They don't need a bleeding heart like you getting in the way.
Star's office has to be in this direction.
It gets worse every night.
They don't want the world to know what they've done.
Oh, my head.
What's wrong with Umbrella?
Get in!
I can't stop them all!
You gotta get out of there!
You guys are the ones who caused all of this!
No, wait!
Oh, come on.
We've gotta be dreaming.
Microsoft just revealed its next generation console, the Xbox Series X, in a surprise announcement at the Game Awards, and players got another world premiere in the form of Senua's Saga: Hellblade 2. From Ninja Theory, the Senua's Saga is the sequel to 2017's Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, a powerful game about demonic energy, love, and the power of the human mind, which is all set in a dark fantasy world. Judging by the debut trailer, Senua's Saga will be no different, though things are actually a little different this time around. Even though this trailer doesn't reveal much about the game, but it appears as though it won't stray too far from its roots, and overall it did a pretty good job in that regard. With that said, the game is coming in the holidays of 2020 for the Xbox Series X game console, and there is no sign of a release date yet. But we will keep you posted. Stick around. Gearbox and Counterplay Games have just announced Godfall, as if God really just... Never mind, at the Game Awards, a third-person fantasy shooter slasher focused on melee combat, that marks the first game announced for Sony's upcoming PlayStation 5. Now, Godfall is set in an entirely new universe and will support solo, duo, or 3-player co-op. As such, enemies will have a variety of responses to that behavior and attack in patterns based on the size of the players' teams. Although no gameplay was shown at the show, or is this the gameplay? We don't know yet. According to PlayStation Blog, the title will have a heavy emphasis on gear customization and player-driven skill, as the title encourages defense-oriented, mystery-driven combat that rewards in powerful loot. Check it out. Godfall will be out holiday 2020 and will also be released on the Epic Games Store.
No storm can stop us.
For those of you who love and hate Valve at the same time like me, you better know that the company caused quite the stir across the games industry when it finally unveiled Half-Life Alyx. the next game in the revered first-person shooter franchise, due to release in March 2020, via Steam, Half-Life Alyx has been confirmed to be compatible with all major virtual reality headsets. In the PC space, from Valve's own Index to the Oculus Rift, from the HTC Vive to Windows mixed reality headsets. So it's gonna sort of cause a spike in the interest of all these VR devices. But anyway, with that said, Half-Life Alyx is currently 10% off for pre-order on Steam, though remember that it comes already bundled with the Valve Index headsets, or Valve Index controllers if you're looking to buy those. So anyway, Alyx is Valve's own VR return to the Half-Life series. It's also the story of an impossible fight against a vicious alien race known as the Combine, set between the events of Half-Life and Half-Life 2. But trust me, you don't want to know more until you get your hands on the thing. Check it out.
And then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault. I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You will not save him.
Alyx Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
Made by Project Cars developer Slightly Mad Studios, a new Fast and Furious game is drifting onto PC and consoles. Fast and Furious Crossroads, described as a team-based vehicular heist action game, and will be out this May. Yes, this means it will arrive just in time for the theatrical release of Fast and Furious 9, and marks yet another licensed game from Bandai Namco which will be handling publishing duties. Yet, judging by the trailer, Fast and Furious Showdown looks like it could be a mixed bug. But on one hand, the involvement of franchise stars like Diesel and Rodriguez is actually quite encouraging. But alright, let's keep it fun. Fast and Furious Crossroads is set to launch in May 2020 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC. Check it out.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
When in doubt, do what I do. I've seen what you do. That's why I'm kind of terrified.
And I don't need a finish line, I'm in my own lane.
Do you want to stay amateurs? Or take this to the next level?
So at the Game Awards, developer Endnight Games announced its new game, Sons of the Forest, a sequel to 2014's The Forest, which we'll get into at another time. Though not much was revealed about Sons of the Forest in this trailer, but there were plenty of humanoid enemies crawling around dark areas and the player character was equipped with, well, weapons. Yet Endnight developers' previous game, The Forest, is an open-world survival horror game, and Sons of the Forest certainly seems like it will be carrying on the horror aspect. The game tasks players with staying alive in a small forest filled with mutants, where players can build shelters and weapons to protect themselves against the forest's monstrous inhabitants. Anyway, Endnight Games didn't reveal when it will release Sons of the Forest or what platforms it will appear on, but it's possible that it will give us some more updates on this game as 2019 comes to an end. So make sure to stick around. Sony announced during its Stage of Play presentation today that Predator Hunting Ground is coming out on April 24th, 2020. In case you're still a little unfamiliar, Hunting Ground is an asymmetrical multiplayer based on the long-running film franchise The Predator, wherein one player controls a predator and hunts the other players, who are just humans. Now, IllFonic, the developer, is making this Predator game, and they have experience with this sort of project, having made 2017's Friday the 13th game, so it's all cool. Only while Friday the 13th the game had a multi-platform release, Predator Hunting Ground is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. For now. But anyway, the interesting part is the game's 4 vs 1 setup sees a group of 4 players controlling members of an elite fire team, while 1 player controls the Predator. But let's just shut up for now, a new trailer for the game is also released. Here we go.
What is that? Stick to the mission. We're moving out.
developer behind Styx, Blood Bowl and Call of Cthulhu has stepped into a world of darkness, and we're hoping for the best, as Cyanide is currently adapting the time-honored role-playing game Werewolf the Apocalypse into a new game for PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One called Earthblood. That long-winded title might sound tricky to appreciate if you're not into all that wolf things, but you might want to clear your mind, as this is an action RPG starring a banished werewolf on a bloody quest for redemption in the midst of a great war. Werewolf Earthblood doesn't have a date nor any specific platform as of now, and it was told that at PDXCon there will be something worth hearing, which apparently didn't happen, but there's gonna be something coming up later in early 2020, so make sure to stick around. Ghost of Tsushima made a big appearance at the Game Awards recently, with PlayStation 4 fans getting a brand new trailer for the major Sony PlayStation exclusive. So let's just sit back and enjoy a nice look at one of the most anticipated games for the PlayStation 4. Just keep it in mind it's launching next summer. Sucker Punch, the developers, revealed this latest trailer for the PlayStation 4 exclusive, which if you're still unfamiliar with, it's an action-adventure that combines sword fighting and stealth in a world inspired by feudal Japan. Clocking in at 4 minutes, the trailer is easily the best look at the game to date, mixing together both gameplay and cinematic footage. Here we go.
Samurai! She Urudo front!
The ghost. Some say he died on the beach. Others say he is a storm made flesh. When the wind thrashes their tents and boats, they know he is coming.
Wait, Kuchman! Chill.
Tell him I'm coming.
Parallabes has officially unveiled 4 new games coming to PC and consoles in 2020. Among these games, we came across Plan 8, which is a third-person shooter MMO co-developed by Counter-Strike creator. In this open-world game, everyone is equipped with an exosuit, meaning you will be capable of some superhuman and very stylish actions such as wall running, sliding through obstacles, slamming shit, and even, of course, more. That said, there's actually tons of information about this game, but what matters is that so far we only know that Plan 8 is in development for PC and consoles as well, and a release date for this game is yet to be announced, so check it out. Amazon's in-house development studio, Amazon Games, have been working on New World for more than 3 years, and it will apparently be the young studio's first major release when it launches in May 2020. The New World is an open-world adventure game set in the 17th century age of exploration, where players will explore an uncharted fictional island that's home to savage wildlife. New World is ultimately a game about survival and exploration, which is like popular MMOs like World of Warcraft, players will be able to spend hundreds of hours adventuring through. But unlike traditional online role-playing games, New World will have more action-oriented combat. That said, New World is set for a May 2020 launch, like I mentioned, but if you pre-order the game, you will get access to a closed beta in the coming April, along with some special unlockable gifts to use in the game.
Lured by the promise of power and immortality, the darkness will claim you.
Platinum Games announced Babylon's Fall at E3 2018 for the PlayStation and Windows PC. It was set to launch this year, though it seems to have been pushed back. So far, few details are known about the game, which appears to take place in a fantasy setting, until yesterday, when a new gameplay footage for Babylon's Fall was showcased during Sony's State of Play presentation. The action-packed gameplay appears to be highly combat-focused. But that's it. Platinum Games said there will be more information on Babylon's Fall next summer. That said, the game is due out sometime in 2020 for PlayStation 4 and PC. Here's a new trailer. Coming up, we got Eastern influences meeting Western style in an online multiplayer combat title, so they say. Naraka Blade Point was just detailed at the Game Awards, which is a Chinese-developed multiplayer combat game due for release next year. The game offers some close-range action and features a boundless movement system that allows players to climb, hang, and even parkour. With an aim at whatever you want, grappling hook, and a sophisticated yet beginner-friendly combat system involving accessible block and parry mechanics. Naraka: Bladepoint is designed to provide a brand new experience of melee combat and world exploration. Anyway, Naraka: Bladepoint is set for a 2020 global release. Check it out. Diablo 4 was unveiled at BlizzCon and the game was even playable on the show floor, though Blizzard made it clear that there is no release window as of yet, and fans might be waiting for a while. And the most interesting new tidbit is a teaser for player versus player combat, which makes a full return in Diablo 4, and another big innovation coming in the 4th Diablo game is the shared world, which we will get into later. Diablo 4 does not currently have a release date. Whenever it does arrive, we know it will be available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and PC. Even as busy as next spring is set to be, Cyberpunk 2077 is still on course to be the biggest game of 2020, figuratively speaking at least. Even though the game is still a few months away, during the Game Awards they announced what players will hear in Cyberpunk 2077, as in for music, highlighting the contributions of nearly a dozen artists. And in addition to that, we got a new few images that does look surprisingly small in terms of city map, but there's nothing to worry about though, since Cyberpunk has too many giant skyscrapers, and many of the buildings in Cyberpunk can be entered, and the whole design style is completely different to something like, let's say, Witcher 3, with much denser environments full of people. That said, Cyberpunk 2077 is set to release on April 16 and will be available on PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Google Stadia, and despite what you would have expected, CD Projekt has said that there will be no PlayStation 5 or Project Scarlet versions up until at least 2020. So, keep it in mind.
But places like this have their advantages. If you're in need of rare goods or illegal cyberware, Pacifica's bustling local markets are a good place to start your search. The Grand Imperial Mall is a whole other story. It was one of the last developments in Pacifica to lose its funding. Until recently it stood vacant, but now a gang called the Animals has moved in for reasons unknown.
Something's not going.
Hurlebiz, the makers of Black Desert Online, first revealed their new MMORPG project at G-Star 2019. Their latest title is called Crimson Desert, and it's a game where players control armies instead of just individual fighters. Now, Crimson Desert initially began as a story set in the world of Black Desert Online. During development, the team began to draft a new IP away from their other MMORPG title. Crimson Desert has both a single-player campaign along with a traditional MMORPG, but during the campaign you will learn about the different mercenaries and their leaders, with a vast amount of content to explore. And as for gameplay, the combat system is action-driven, meaning that players won't have an opportunity to rest during battle. Anyway, Crimson Desert is set to hit a beta for PC and consoles sometime in 2020, so keep it in mind.
Who cares if we die?
How'd the Lowlanders take over an empire? Look at us. Beaten, shamed, and hunted.
Macduff! Eli!
Can you hear a word I said? You nearly died out there.
Macduff, you are our leader.
Away!
The past few months have been both good and bad for fans eagerly waiting for Last of Us. To literally tell us a new one, it was then announced that the sequel will be shipped without multiplayer and online gameplay, as Naughty Dog focused only on the single-player campaign. Developers then promised that the plot and gameplay elements in this title is so far the biggest project they've actually worked on. That was actually good news. One thing we learned from Neil recently was, like the original, The Last of Us Part 2 will feature some extreme violence, which we weren't so sure what to do with at first, but then Neil realized it and added it's not just a violent game, but a game about violence and the effect that it has on people, to which we had to shut it. Anyway, we're here and so you are, and so one scheduled for a February 2020 release, Last of Us Part 2 is now slated to launch on May 29th, 2020. Picture Grand Theft Auto, but as a shark. That's quiet. There are no cars to jack, there are no radio stations, although the designers have considered letting the shark get drunk if it is a drunk person, although they haven't added to the game yet, but they said it will probably happen by the time it's out. Anyway, Maneater, currently announced for a PC release sometime before E3 2020, does have some GTA stylings. It has a wanted system that replaces cops with shark hunters, but at its most basic, Maneater is an action role-playing game about swimming around a bull shark near a fictional Gulf coast, jumping down on wildlife and people in various areas. Check it out.
Evolve.
Not everybody made to be a fisherman.
It's shark versus man. Man-Eater.
One of 2020's most anticipated games published by Square Enix, Marvel's Avengers is said to be an ambitious entry into comic book lore, touching on characters and locations from the film, as well as exploring the journeys of smaller characters that have yet to grace the silver screen. From what we have seen, the gameplay is a typical modern beat-em-up similar to God of War. For instance, each character has a light attack, heavy attack, and a ranged attack. Marvel's Avengers also takes a versatile cast of characters and condenses gameplay to a simple but understandable movement that can ease newcomers as well. So yeah, that said, the game will be released for Stadia, Windows PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on May 15, 2020.
Tony, Thor, what's your status?
There are mortals trapped. Lots of small, angry men with guns.
I just caught a bus. Maybe I should have had a bigger breakfast this morning.
Out of my way!
Thor!
Final Fantasy VII Remake is probably the most hyped video game remake of all time. But so far only PlayStation 4 owners have truly been able to get excited about the game's March 3rd, 2020 release date. Now, a new box art for the game uploaded on Square Enix's website just yesterday was shown that the game isn't actually a true PlayStation 4 exclusive, or at least it won't be forever. Timed exclusive until March 3rd, 2021. There's no word yet on what other platforms the game is scheduled for, be they Xbox, PC, or even PlayStation, and since by 2021 both Microsoft and PlayStation would have released their next generation consoles, apparently all platforms will see the game up until 2021. And here's a new trailer for the game.
Okay, that was pretty cool. You weren't thinking of leaving Midgar anytime soon, were you?
Well, seems this old friend of mine's in a tight spot. A long time ago I made a promise, so...
I'm really glad to have you back, Cloud. Really glad.
If you want some more videos, anything in particular, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. Click like if you like this video, and if you're not subscribed yet, please do that already. We upload videos almost every day of the week. And the best way to see them is of course a subscription. So click subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video, and we will see you here next time on FGameKiller.